All praises to Yahweh Ba'Sham Yahweh Shai, Ba'Sham Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video on how you Israelite women, Eve, man, she really actually thinks that she can shame the Israelite man out of what he likes. And she doesn't think that she has to actually learn what men like, and instead thinks that she can try and tell us what we like, man. Right? And the first scripture I'm going to go to start talking about this particular topic is in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter, which reads this. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. And this is King Solomon's what's the word I'm looking for, man? This is basically King Solomon's conclusion, right? This is his conclusion of women, right? His conclusion of women in his time that he lived on the earth, which King Solomon, right, would have been handsome. He would have been rich. He had status. He had charisma. He had wisdom. And in the wisdom that he had and that things that he understood, right? And remember, women act fake when a man's rich and got all these things going on. And yet all the women that he was with and that he dated in the time that he was alive on earth, which is 700 wives and 300 concubines when you read the Bible, his conclusion of women is that they're more bitter than death. And now these are the women that he would have dealt with personally on a one-to-one level. But remember, he would have been a rule over the society and would have actually seen some of the things and would have heard the judgments that was going on in his kingdom, even among our people and among other nations. And he would have came across the things that they do and would have been highly in the judicial system of the time and would have known what kind of things women was doing and having to be judged for it according to the laws of what we were doing and according to what other people of the nation that he was around, that he had power over in that time were doing, man. And the conclusion was that women are more bitter than death. Right now, I was watching a video that one of the elders put up, and I watched a lot of those videos, and he was like doing a video on how a woman was trying to shame a man in how he likes younger women, right? But it's funny that Eve wants to try and shame Jake for liking younger women, because she don't try and shame Jake for anything that she can actually do, right? If an Israelite woman's young herself, right? You notice how it's not these young women that are able to get the kind of men that they want, that they ever want to say, oh, you're abysmal for liking a younger woman. If a woman sees a man that was to look like he's in his 20s, and she was to start dating him, and she didn't even ask him his age because he looked like he was in his 20s, but he's actually 20 years older than her, right? And she's 20, but he's 40. And then she finds out later on down the line that he's 20 years older than her, right? But she's been doing everything that she would want a man to do in a relationship. He's got exactly the amount of money. He's got exactly the amount of appearance. He treats her exactly the kind of way that she expects to be treated and wants to be treated by a man, right? Does the right amount of push and pull with her in a relationship, right? Is she gonna all of a sudden be like, oh no, I've got integrity and you're a crater snatcher predator. You shouldn't be with me because I'm a 20-year-old that's brainwaves. My brainwaves ain't right in parallel order right now. My brainwaves ain't in a linear pattern. So you can't date me because you're a predator, cradle snatcher. No, they ain't gonna say that. They're gonna date him. And when you Israelite women are young, you're lusting after men that are older than you. Back in the day, in the 90s, early 20s, right? You was lusting after Sean Paul. You was lusting after 50 Cent. You was lusting after Usher. You was lusting after all the members of B2K, right? You was lusting after all of these musicians. Y'all was lusting after R. Kelly before it came out what he was doing. And even when it came out what he was doing, y'all was lusting after him, man. You was lusting after Fabulous. You was lusting after all these rappers, D'Angelo's, all these musicians, right? You was lusting after all these guys, man. And you knew that they was older than you, and you didn't care. So don't try and play games. Don't try and come and accuse men of being something that the man's not, just because you ain't young and hot no more, man. Right? Just because y'all ain't young and hot no more. Don't try and think you can try and make men a criminal for liking what they like, right? And try and make it seem illegal to like a woman that's hot. When if any of you women woke up right now that aren't that age no more, yeah, and you woke up that exact same age, you wouldn't start all of a sudden wanting to try and pick men that are exactly the same age as you, 20, and ain't got the financial things that you want. You'd want to pick the men that are older than you, that have got the success that you want a man to have. So don't try and play no games, right? I'm gonna say something out there for all you dumb women out there, right, that can't get a grip of yourself. The same way how you want to try and shame men for liking women that are younger than you and hotter and attractive than you, right? Okay, picture us as men. We say to you, don't date tall, handsome, charismatic, socially secure, non-violent, unless it's to protect you, rich men that are going to be generous with their wealth. Don't date them. Date a man that ain't got none of that going on for himself. How are you gonna? What's it gonna sound like when we're talking? I'll tell you what it's gonna sound like. Womp 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 womp. Y'all ain't gonna be hearing nothing that we're gonna say. All you're gonna be hearing when we're talking is he's chatting it off, he's chatting it off, he's chatting it off, he's talking up, BS, yeah, whatever. You ain't gonna be hearing none of that. That's how we feel when you try and tell us what to like, man. Because as much as you women run your mouth, if the man that you're with right now, right, and some of the men that you women don't like right now, some of the women that you men do not like right now, right? If he woke up in the morning and was 1 foot taller and had 2 million extra in his bank account, you'd like him all of a sudden. So what does that tell you? That you didn't like him because he wasn't tall enough and didn't have enough money. There wasn't nothing else that there was a problem with him. You didn't care. His character wasn't wrong, right? His character wasn't right. And oh yeah, let me forget. He had a ponytail. Yeah, I can't forget the ponytail. He had a woke up with a ponytail. Yeah, that he can turn into some cornrow braids with a fade, right? And he had muscles and abs, right? You wouldn't all of a sudden you'd start liking that guy, man. So don't start trying to play up and talk up your mouth and try and think you're gonna shame men into not liking what they like. You're not gonna be able to do that. Who the hell do you think you are, man? Who the hell do you women think you are? You think you're gonna try and tell us who we can and can't date? It's your fault that you're ending up missing out on men that you want that you think attractive now that's your own age. And you know it's you women's fault because you're the main ones that have got a problem with men having multiple wives. So if it was a society where men can have multiple wives, guess what? He'd have you as a wife. He would have had you as a wife first. Yeah. And then when this other hot 20-year-old woman comes along, he's gonna have her as a wife second. And you would have put time in enough with him to where he's not gonna cast your ass out. But because you wanted to make men only be able to have one woman, well, guess what? He's gonna pick the best woman out of all of him. And he's gonna have to be real strict on who he picks then. So if there's two, if let's listen, man. If there's 40 women that all look exactly the same, they're exactly the same level of attractiveness, right? But one of them is in her 20s and all the other ones are in their 40s, but they look exactly the same personality in every single way. It would make more sense for the man to pick the 20-year-old one. Why? Because just if you go based off natural cause unalivements, natural cause leaving the earth, well, he's going to be able to definitely have more time with this 20-year-old version because she's got longer left to live on the earth. So don't act dumb and act all surprised that men like women that are younger, because when you was younger, your own self, you was more arrogant. And that's why now that you're in your 30s and 40s, you don't go to the club no more, do you? Because you know that the 20-year-old women in there are going to be doing exactly the same thing that you was doing and that you would have done if you seen women in their 30s and 40s in a nightclub flex on you and have their young, toned stomachs, long caramel skin and all that flowing out, their long leg, gal them leg out, gal them chest out, their nice smelling hair, right? And they're going to have it all out on display, right? And they didn't have to do one squat, one sit up, one crunch, one hamstring curl or leg extension to get that physique neither. That's just what they got given as a gift from Yahweh as soon as they reached 18 to 20. And they're going to show off like how you used to show off on women and yourself. Because isn't it funny that these women don't try and attack the 20-year-old women that like the men, that date the men that are older than them? They try and pull it on the men because they know that they don't want to get told that if they try and aim it at the women, the women will end up being like, you know what? You're only saying this because you're jealous. And then it would be revealed why these women even running their mouth in the first place. So instead of trying to make the men predators, but then these women don't think that they're a predator when they are trying to analyze man's pockets. They don't think that they're a predator when they're trying to think they slick and try and pretend like they're just talking to a man, having a normal, everyday, regular conversation. But really, they're trying to be a human financial advisor, a human calculator to try and figure out man's pockets. Oh, so what do you do for a living? Oh, really? And how long you been doing that for? That means that he probably makes about calculation activated. He probably makes about 220,000 a year. He makes about 50,000 a year, and he might have a local savings of. Don't try and play games. Y'all be trying to stalk up man's pockets. Are you a predator when you're trying to stalk man's pockets, or would you say, oh, but you want a man that can provide and care for? Well, we've got reasons why we want a woman that might be younger than us, and we don't give a shit. Let me just drop it like that. We don't give a shit if you want to say it's controlling. No man wants to date some woman that's acting like a human orangutan, running their Ross Clark mouth. No man wants that woman that's running her gums off, man. That fake ass, strong, independent BS. No man don't want no man that's running their mouth. No man don't want no man that's going to be arguing with him in public. Running her damn gums, man. That's going to be getting him into fights, trying to back up people in public so that he has to get in fights. No man don't want to date that. And we don't care if you want to try and think you can shame us for that. We don't care. Just like how you women don't care. If you women out there was able to get the kind of man that you want to date, right? You ain't gonna care if men that don't meet that characteristic start saying, look at her dating that handsome, tall man that pays all of her bills and doesn't make her have to work and bought her a car and takes her on one holiday every month, whether he's with her or not, and pays for all of her friends' meals and makes her look like she's the most beautiful woman in the world, paid for her to have this, paid for her to have that, pays for her nails, pays for her hair, pays for all the clothes that she wants, and she doesn't have to do nothing. Or doesn't have to do much apart from things that she wants to. If you women could achieve that, are you going to care what we have to say as men that don't meet that in your mind? No, you're not going to care. And guess what? We don't care what you think. You understand? We don't care. We don't care what you think, man. And that goes for if we date a woman of another nation, either. We don't care. If we are able to date a woman that's of another nation that we think's hot, right? That don't run her mouth and run her gums off to us, right? And whether we do or don't think she's an Israelite, right? Which we'd rather want a woman that we do think is Israelite. You think we care if Eve's got a problem? Fuck Eve, man. And what she's got to say. Because what she's got to say, in her opinion, is the reason why our nation's in the dirt. In a graveyard ditch, man. So who really cares what Eve's got to say about the dating dynamics, man? Who cares what she's got to say? They're steady running their mouth thinking they can shame men. Right? I'm talking about y'all trying to control, as if they're so wise in their older age, man. As if they're so wise now that they're older. No, they're not. They just ran out, bro. And fatter. Just fatter. They ain't wise as they get older. They're fat. And more, what they call wisdom is arrogance. Oh, I'm wiser now and I know what I want. I know what I want. I fell for that trick of the drug dealer with a ponytail 17 times, but the 18th, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, no, fool me once, shame on you. This is how Eve, it's lucky, man. This is how Eve does it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, shame on you. Fool me 20 times, shame on you. But that 21st time, ooh, I'm wiser now. I'm wiser now. Nah, you can't fool me no more. But it's not gonna be shame on me because I ain't got no accountability. So shame on you still for even trying to fool me because I'm wiser now. I know what I want. I'm more stronger and independent. And they'll be saying they're strong and independent. And y'all fat like I don't know what. You ain't stronger. Yeah, you ain't stronger. You're just fatter. You on about, man. Bro, if brothers out there that go gym, you know that seeing Eve in the gym is rare, fam. You know this. Any of you brothers out there that you go to the gym, tell me how many Eves you see in the gym. And don't lie neither. Tell me if you see Eve in the gym, man. Eve be on these dating shows talking about she going hiking. I'll go hiking, check her phone, check Eve's phone, yeah, and see what the step count is for the day. But she loves hiking so much, you ain't gonna see 1,000 steps on that bad boy. You ain't gonna see 1,000 steps on that Ross Clark phone, man. But she loves all this hiking when she's on Pop the Balloon, though. I like hiking and holidays and can't even spell the place that she likes going on holidays, man. They love stuffing. I'll tell you what they like: stuff in their mouth with lobster and crabfish, shellfish, man. From a man that she don't like, finances. That's what they seem to like out here. Women have got all this stuff to say, but they're such losers in this world, yeah, and such bums when it comes to their finances that they don't even want to spend they like all these videos that you see on the internet where these women are complaining about the current financial situation on this earth. You'll notice that they're not complaining about having to being expected to pay a man's bills. They're complaining about having to pay their own bills, man. And that's why Solomon said he finds more bitter than death a woman. And women wasn't even back in this time talking like that. And Solomon still knew. So what would he say about the women in this generation, man? What would he find them more bitter than, man? Death on the rocks. Verse 27, behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counted one by one. So Solomon was analyzing the women, man. Let me see what Macaziah is saying. Let's see what Macaziah is saying. She looks good, but let's see what she's under. She's more bitter than death. Let me see what Edomite wife that I've got to do it. You know what? She's more bitter than death as well. Let me see what one of the concubines is saying, because I ain't really around them that much. Let me see what my number one concubine is saying. She's bitter than death too. Let me see. Okay, the first 200 wives, they were more bitter than death, but surely, me, King Solomon, surely the 201st wife ain't gonna be more bitter than death. And it's not like King Solomon would have got all these wives in one go. You know what I mean? In the time that he was king, he would have gradually built up the number of wives that he's got. And he might have assessed them and be like, you know what, maybe I put too much into a wife that's pretty last time. So this time the wife's not going to be as pretty. She's still going to be fine because I am King Solomon. But she ain't going to be fine like that though. But she's going to look good though. But you know what? I'm going to make sure she can cook this time. And it would have been a cooking ass wife that can cook and all of this. And she was still more bitter than death. And then after time went by, it would have got to the 500th wife. Let me see if she's more bitter than death as well, man. Yep, she was as well. Okay, let me see if, 699 wives have been more bitter than death. And 299 concubines have been more bitter than death. But surely this 700th wife and this 300th concubine, surely they're not going to be more bitter than death as well. Surely not. And there was. So what are y'all women talking about, man? Women in this society used to complain because men didn't value them cooking and cleaning, and was like, oh, you don't think the house chores are really as much as what we think it is. We want to do what you can do, and we want to prove that we can do what you can do. Okay, do it then. And then now they complain that they have to do it, have to do that. And then complaining that a man might say, okay, since you've proved you can do it now, okay, let's go even further. Okay, you can prove that you can work and do the same thing as a man. Okay, you've proved it. Now do this part. Prove you can pay half of whatever thing that a man pays, and they don't even want to do that. So never mind would they want to really step in the man's position and pay everything. Would they want to do that? But a man don't mind paying everything, man. A man don't mind going to a restaurant, yeah. If it's not going to financially drain him, he don't mind going to a restaurant with all his family, pulling out his wallet, slapping that card down, having it scanned through, slapping down a tip and bouncing out of the restaurant. He'll feel like, man, yeah, I did that right there. But a woman ain't gonna want to do that, man. She ain't even gonna want to go to a restaurant with a guy that she so-called likes and pay for her meal. You understand? You don't even want to pay for her meal. But then they want to run their mouth and talk all this E quality, B quality, T quality. Mate, y'all don't like none of that, man. Y'all full of shit. Eve, like I've realized this in my time on earth, man. The Israelite woman is dumb, man. She's dumb, bro. Now, is that every single Israelite woman? No. But the majority of them, the way they think they're intelligent and they run their mouth and they talk, They're dumb. They're hypocrites against their own so-called belief systems, man. If a man dates a woman that's younger than him, he's a crater snatcher. But what's the woman then? Is there something wrong in the woman for liking a man that's older than her? And then when you ask them, when all these women that say this, oh, if you want to date a woman that's younger than you, there's something wrong with you, because their mind and their brain waves ain't connected right. They're young and they're not mature enough. And then if you say to them, okay, Eve, you run in your mouth. What age does a woman become mature? They ain't gonna give you an answer. Oh well, it's a spectrum. It's a They don't want to, like, Eve don't like, and women in general don't like straight, concrete yes or no answers. They like Esau. Esau don't want to answer yes or no either. And Eve don't want to answer yes or no. And women in general don't like yes or no questions, man. They want open questions so that they can try and slither away. Is a woman mature at 20 years old? No, she's not. Okay. Is a woman mature at 25? Well, it depends. Depends on what, you Ross Clark, man. Depends on Ross Clark what, man? What does it depend Ross Clark on, man? What does it depend on? Oh, well, when I was 20, I was mature, but like I want things back as it was in the old days. Okay, well, in the old days, men were dating women that was even younger than what you think's not acceptable now. So how old of a days do you want it, man? Oh, men used to go to war. That's what they be saying. Men used to go to war. Okay, women used to have children when they was way younger than women have children now. You want that? Oh. So I know what you want. You want a rigged game, huh? You want a rigged game where you can go out and make money if you want to. But then at the same time, the man has to pay for everything, whether you have money in your bank account or whether you don't. You want the man to have to pay for your life, whether he's got money or whether he don't have money. That sounds like a rigged game to me. You want your money to not have to matter, but you want to have your money and you don't want to have to really actually do work at your job. You want to be able to go on your phone, right? As much as you want when you're at work too. Y'all want a rigged game, man. Y'all want a rigged game. And this is the kind of things that King Solomon was seeing. They couldn't even humble themselves to King Solomon. They were running their damn chocolate, Edomite, Moab, Ammonite mouths, man. In fact, let's go to the list of the women that King Solomon had as wives, man. I think it goes into some of the nations that he had as wives. Let's go to it. Because it wasn't just the Israelite woman that he was finding out ain't right. It was all of them. First Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women together with the daughter of Pharaoh. So that's Mizraim, right? Women of the Moabites. So the Moabite women ain't right neither. Ammonites. The Ammonite woman ain't right. Edomites, she ain't right. For damn sure. Zidonians and Hittites, right? Of the nation concerning the which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Solomon clave unto these in love. And one of Eve's main lines as well is that she'll try and when a Jake dates a Edomite woman or a heathen. Oh, but them women are gonna throw you under the bus and try and backstab you and all that. That's what you get for dating them heathen women. Mate, they just want to try and shame us to only have to date them. And then they don't even want to be hot. They don't even want to go gym, man. Yo, they don't even want to walk to lose some weight, man. You don't even want to, you know what, pull out your phone, pick a route, yeah, and walk that route because it's 10,000 steps. If you walk this walk, and it might be an hour that you have to be at your house on a day-to-day basis, and after this, yeah, guess what? You'll have done 10,000 steps. That's about 300 to 500 calories, depending on how much you weigh, and you'll lose some damn weight. They don't want to do that. They don't want to have to wash out there between their legs. You know what I mean? They want it to be able to stink. Isn't that what that dotty musician, Sexy Red, was talking about? If it don't stink, you ain't got a real woman. What are you on about, man? Why is it stinking for? Why is it stink for? Dotty tuna girl. What are you on about, man? They just like these Israelite women. They don't think they have to learn anything about men. You know. That's what I'm starting to really realize. Esau really gassed them up so much that they actually truly believe that they don't have to do nothing for men, but men have to do everything for them. Men have to sustain the lifestyle that they was able to so-called achieve amongst it by themselves, right? and then act as well as go above and beyond that. So, if they was able to achieve the lifestyle of a person that makes 100,000 a year by themselves, well, now you have to make them have the lifestyle that's a person that makes 1,000,000. That's what they think in their mind. But then while you're doing that for them, they don't think they should have to do nothing for you. And be talking about some, I don't want to have to cook and clean and do nothing for you. But okay, when you was making your 100,000 a year, what did you have to do for that place that you worked? And if you would have been able to trade what you did, all the things that you had to do for that job that you worked to make 100,000 a year, and all you had to do for that job is make a few sandwiches and a few meals, right? Make one meal a day, and bring it into work, and you're gonna get 100,000 a year. Would you have did that? Would you have did that for the place you work at? Yeah, you would have. If you had to wash your boss's clothes at work and bring him one meal in a day, right? Would you do that for 100,000 a year? If your woman was to be getting paid, right, 100,000 a year to make meals for one man, would you do that? Yeah, you would. But then when it's for the man that you expect to give you 100,000 to a millionaire lifestyle, or whatever lifestyle you think he's supposed to give you, you don't expect you have to do that for him. And I'm not even on about all women. I'm on about the ones that talk like this. Y'all are delusional as hell. And I want to say this as well, man. Some people would try and make it like, oh, women don't care about men that are tall and all this. But let's just say, right, that the women that actually men are with right now, that you woke up tomorrow and was a foot taller and $1 billion of whatever currency you want to say richer, or $1 billion of assets richer, because forget money, $1 billion of assets richer. Is that woman that you're with going to like you more now or less? And you also woke up in shape too. Is she going to like you more now or less? Obviously, you know she's going to like you more because you've improved more physically and financially, right? And you're healthier now. And you're still everything that you was before. She's going to like you more. And you still treat her the same way, make her feel exactly the same way. She's going to like you more, man. But just like how we can understand that, why is it that women can't understand if they woke up looking younger, looking like they're in an age where women look their most attractive, which is in their 20s, right? We're going to like them more. Why is it that they can't understand that? They can understand that men like women with a fat ass. That's why they get these stupid ass BBLs and all that. They can understand that men like women that's faces look younger because they get foundation and put all this makeup on there. They understand all that. They can understand that men like women that smell nice because they be putting fragrances on. You notice that you never hear Eve complain about, man, you like women that have got a fat ass because she can get that, right? They don't complain. You like women that can dance because Eve can dance. But when it comes to things like long hair, it starts getting tricky, right? Things start getting tricky then. Things start getting a bit strange. But then if it's an Israelite woman that can have long hair, she don't care. So they want to rig the game where we have to like exactly what characteristic they are. If men say they don't like women that are fat, even all women of all nations have a problem with that. But then they don't mind bunning out men for not being tall. When we can't do anything about that, but they can do something about not being fat though. Stop eating. Stop yamming up the food, man. Stop eating a whole bag of Doritos and a Ben and Jerry's. And lose some damn weight, man. Do that. Because it's all fun and games to bun out men and talk about how men ain't in shape. Though they got a dad bod and all that. But you've got a mum bod. They're talking at the mouth. Talking about men's bodies. What about your bodies, man? And more men are in shape than women are. To be honest with you, more men are a healthy weight, I would say, than women are. That's what I would say. It's just that it's coming like women think that a man's supposed to be a damn superhero for them to like him. But then they ain't a superhero themselves. With their appearance, man. Let's go to this. Let's go to some more scriptures, man. Because the women trying to shame men for who they like is absolutely ridiculous. It's not gonna work, by the way. Right? It's not gonna work, man. And men don't like women that are hoes neither. That's another thing, man. Men don't like women that are hoes. And women know that. Women can understand that men don't like women that are hoes because they lie about their body count. They lie about their body count, man. And the ones that don't lie about their body count, it don't go well for them when they start trying to lie, or when they just blatantly admit that their body count is bare high. It don't go well for them, and they eventually start trying to backtrack. Oh, I shouldn't be judged for what I've did in the past. I shouldn't be judged for what I've did in the past, because that the past is the past at the end of the day. Well, okay, money's just money at the end of the day. But then they don't want to hear that though, innit? They'll say, nah, money actually can do things. Okay, your past can do things. If a woman's had slept with 100 men, she's clearly shown that she does not value relationships. So what's the point of a guy investing his time into her when she's gonna trade him in for another guy? If a woman's in her 30s, started sleeping with men when she was what, 20, let's say, and she's been with 100 men, let's just say that's 10 men a year. So if he ends up in a relationship with her, he can assume, based on what she's previously did, that by the time she's 31, she's gonna have slept with 110 men. So what's the point of him putting in time with her? He's just one of the 10 now, so she's still got 9 men to go for the year. So what's the point of him putting any time in her? What would be the point? She's already shown evidence that she don't value long-term relationships with men, and that's why she's always keeps switching them out. Don't you get it? Duh. Hello. Do you understand anything, all you men out there? Do you understand life? Do you know life? Or do you just know how to run your mouths and talk about what you think men should be doing, but you don't want to ever talk about what women should be doing? All you men know what a real man is. So-called, you supposedly know what a real man is. But what's a real woman? Do any of you know that? And how much effort are you putting into being this real woman that you think? How comes y'all ain't doing that? How comes you ain't having competition with other women to see how real of a woman you can be in comparison to all the other women? But instead of trying to tell and think you can try and monitor men and who they should be. No, take the beam at your own eye. Yeah, there's a biblical principle. Take the beam at your own eye, man. Because men, we understand all the things that women like. If men know that women like men that are in shape, so they'll go gym. They know that women like men that are rich, so they'll go out and try and better their finances, man. They know that men like women that are charismatic, so men start learning to be funny and learn to be charming. They know that men don't like women. They start to learn that men don't like women that are overly too on them all the time. So they'll start learning how to be a bit of an asshole to women, man. But women don't think that they should have to learn anything that men like. If they find out that men like women that can cook, they'll say, fuck what he thinks. I'm not cooking for no nilla. That's what they'll say. I ain't cooking for none of these ninjas. If they know that men don't like women that, men don't like women that are on Instagram, they were like, well, I'm not deleting my Instagram. That's what however they think they can come with it, man. And it's not going to work, because prophecy states, let's go to this. Prophecy states that y'all women are going to come running to the men, begging. You know the same way how you beg to not be taken to cheesecake factory and you beggy. Oh, a man takes you on a date. And he texts you and he's like, you ready for the date tonight, honey? Yeah, babes. And y'all text back, yeah, I'm ready for the date. I'm just going to get my nails done. Yeah, and he's like, okay, let me know when you're done. And then you're talking about, no, you should have been asking for my cash app. Why? You obviously had the money to go and get your nails done anyway. So why, like some of you women wouldn't even expect, yeah, that you should have to pay for the fuel to get yourself to the date. Like if a man took you out on a date, yeah, and he was gonna drop $1,000 on you on that date, some of you women wouldn't even think that you should have to pay the fuel that he paid in his car to drive you to that date, man. Even though you know he's gonna spend $1,000 on you, you don't think that you have to do. Some of you are so arrogant, you don't think you have to do anything, man. But that's gonna all switch around, and you're gonna be begging men. And it doesn't matter which men these end. It's going to be to the nation of Israel anyway. That's what we believe. But it doesn't matter which men it would end up being. It's happening already. You're already begging men. You men are already beggy with your hand out for man's pockets. Right now on man's money. You men are beggy with men that you don't even like's money, man. Y'all ain't even got enough dignity to expect the men that you do like to give you money, that you want to be with. No, you want the men that you don't want to be with to have to pay for your whole life as well. That's how arrogant you are, man. Isaiah chapter 4 and verse 1, and in that day some women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take our approach. And this is going to happen. And it's going to happen after you start to get all the things that made you proud dragged away, man. All the things that make you women proud right now are going to slowly start to get dragged away from you, and your arrogance is going to be defeated. And then you're gonna have to look at yourself in the mirror and you're gonna realize you're just a human, man. You ain't no goddess, you ain't no Queen of Sheba, goddess, Mother Africa, Mama Talula. You ain't none of that, bro. You're just a woman with whatever your name was when your parents gave it you. And you breathe, your poo stink, your farts stink, yeah? Your poo stinks when you go to the toilet, right? When you wee and you dehydrate, it looks yellow in the bowl like anybody else. Your lips get dry if you're dehydrated, right? Your skin goes chapped if you don't moisturize it. You ain't no just queen of floating through the tulips, man. You're just a woman like any other woman out there, man. And you ain't no more special than any other woman. And no man has to worship your back increase. That's what y'all are gonna realize. Y'all are gonna all realize that, man. And you can get arrogant, you can get foam out of the mouth, you can come across videos like this and turn them off before you even hear these parts. You can foam at them out, you can try and say, who's he to say this, or he ain't rich, he ain't even got that money that he's talking about. Okay, but the men that have got that money that I'm talking about, do they want you? And all you men out there would have to question yourself about this. If I just dropped 2 questions on you women out there that run your mouth like this, man. Okay, does the kind of man that you want even exist? Have you even seen the kind of man that you say you want before in real life? Have you actually seen him? This man that you think's gonna have all this money, does this, does that, pays for your whole life, doesn't care about your body count. Does he even exist? Have you seen him before in real life? Have you seen him? And if you say no, okay, so why are you hoping for men that don't exist? Don't you think you should actually hope for men that exist? Because the man that you're thinking that don't exist, he ain't real. You ain't met him. And if you say, yeah, I have met him before, he does exist. Okay, well then, why didn't he want you? Why aren't you with him? Why didn't he want you if he exists? Why didn't he want you? What is it about you that made him not want you? And then you'll be cut to the heart, man. You'll be cut to the heart, bro. But let's carry on. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And this is going to happen in real time, man, to you women out there. As this society starts really coming down to the wire, you men are going to be stinking out here, man. And you already do stink if you was to go in a woman's bathroom, yeah, and go in a man's bathroom and compare the smells, the stinkiest male bathrooms, yeah, where men have been farting up the pooing poo all on the dirt in places that they ain't supposed to be poo, right? Feces in places they ain't supposed to be in and that, yeah. And a woman's one, the stinkiest woman's toilet is gonna smell worse than the stinkiest men's one, and that's real, bruh. That's facts. But the myth is that men stink more. No, women stink more, man. You women are dirtier than the men. In real land. In fake land, the men are dirtier. In real land, the women are worse than the men. And that's one of the main things that women do to Jake, man, and do to men in general. They project what they're like onto men. Oh, men cheat more. No, you women are more hoes than men. And a society that's full of adultery has benefited you women more, man. Because you women, on average, get to sleep with more men than men get to sleep with women on average, man. Let's not play no games. Verse 24, it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle of rent, and instead of well-set hair, boldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. You men ain't going to be looking what you think you look like now. A lot of you men on your Instagram accounts, yeah, look like you're some stars, bro. But if men see you in real life, you're coming like Freddy Krueger, bro. You ain't looking nothing like your avatar online. And that's why y'all complain about how men are approaching you in public. Mate, you don't look like your online thing in real life. That's why. Your online account, you're able to angle, like your online account, yeah, is not a, like, you, hey, it's a lucky, man, but I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, man. You see, when people have got their online profile picture, you know the profile pictures are not videos, isn't it? So let's say the profile picture had to be a 360 view of the person on the thumbnail, on the icon. It would start to get a bit different, innit? But the woman's able to stage. She's gonna put her hand behind her back. She's gonna step one leg in front of the other, tilt her hip a bit this way and that way, and make it look like the thing more round than it is. She's gonna suck the stomach in and make it look like it's this and it's that. Just like how some of the men be trying to fake like they're taller, right? But then when the women speak, the men have to realize they ain't as tall. Well, a lot of you women be having pictures where you're bare zoomed in on the face, coming like you're just only a head with no arms and legs. And then when men see you in real life, they're like, raw. I thought she might have been a bit overweight, but she had 5 bellies. I've heard of a 4 head, but a 5 bellies. I didn't even know that exists. Like these women be so deceitful with mans. They be stuffing their belly into yoga pants, man. These women get some like titanium constricting yoga pants where they can tuck their stomach into their yoga pants, man. And they tuck their belly and their ass into yoga pants, and then it looks like they got them going on under there, man. But if they was to take them your pants off, take them yoga pants, it's like the thing gonna spill out the edges, bro. You know, like if you overflow a bath. That's what it's gonna be like with their gut and their batty crease, man. But then when I talk about men that might not be tall enough, or he lied and said he was 6 feet, but he's 5'11". He's deceitful. He's a deceitful man. He ain't no real man. Okay, you lied and tried to make it like your face looks like that. But when a baby wipe went across your cheekbones, mate, it come to find out your face was on the wipes. So who are you talking to, man? Oh, I want a real man. Oh, really? Are you real though? And you'll even have women these days that have got a BBL and try and talk about a next woman's appearance. Who are you talking to? Because you ain't even got a real body yourself. Or you'll have a woman that will try and get her chest done and then try and mock another woman for getting a BBL. You didn't like your body neither though. She's got a fake ass. You've got fake tits. It's all the same. Fake. Both of y'all fake hoes, man. So none of y'all should be talking at your mouth against the other one. And then they'll think that they're better. Oh, but my BBL cost 20,000. Hers only cost 5K. I got a real Brazilian butt lift. She got a Somalian butt lift. It's her one. Her one's a Zimbabwe butt lift. She got a ZBL. She never got a real one. Yo, she got a TBL. Hers is a Turkish one. She ain't real. She ain't real. I got mine from Dr. Butt Cheeks though. She got hers from Dr. Buttocks. And his fees ain't 50,000 like mine. She got hers on layaway. I paid mine cash. You both dumb hoes. Yeah? That have got a fake ass. Thinking y'all the shit. When you could have went gym and hit some squats. And lost some damn weight. And wouldn't have to risk having health problems. But you was too lazy to do that though, innit? Running at your mouths. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle a rent, and instead of well set hair, boldness. And that's why a lot of women's head tops are yam out, man. And this don't bring no joy to my heart to say it, but we can't lie, man. Me nah lie. Yeah? Your head tops are yam out, bro. Y'all want to laugh at men with receding hairlines. Your hairline's receded as well. Your hairline's receded. And then y'all will say, oh, but okay, is the men's hairline receding part of this curse? No. This is clearly for women. And we can find Edomite men that's hairline receding. We can find that. But among the women, among all the women of all the different nations, there seems to be a certain way more hair loss for the Israelite woman than any other woman. And they ain't staying out to fake it neither. That's just real. It's just naturally occurring, man. And y'all all know it. Because if a man goes for your hair, that's going for the jugular. A man going for an Israelite woman's hair in an argument is like when the angel went for Jacob's hip in the battle that they had, man. He went straight for, you know what, forget the playing, dislocate that hip. That's what it is like if we go for a woman's hair. And it was done to humble y'all. And it has humbled you. Because if you Israelite women had your real hair right now, y'all would be proud as hell, man, if y'all could just all grow hair long. Y'all be proud as hell. Because y'all are proud without being able to do that. And this is just the truth, man. And burning instead of beauty, thy men shall fall by the sword, because there's a lot of men that enable you women to be like how you are. They're going to fall by the sword. And that's going to reduce you women's pride as well. And I mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And part of the gates lament in the morning is all the teats that you men was longing for, man. The men just taking you out on dates, the men approaching you and giving you an ego boost. You get into an argument with your man in the house, and you leave out the house and go to work, and now your work husband's all flirting. But now some of y'all so-called work husbands, they ain't flirting you no more. They ain't trying to be no sucker on standby in case you want an ego boost. Men ain't no longer wanting to be no ego boost for a lot of you women, man. They don't want to be an ego boost for you. They don't want to whistle at you. For qua, you little minx, qua, you little. They don't want to do none of that. They want to mind their business, go gym and do some curls and ab crunch and bench press and that, and dip tricep dips and that, man, and mind their business. And wait for a woman that likes them and comes up to them. And they've got the right to do that too. They don't have to chase women around, man. They don't have to, and they're not going to. And when it's all said and done, this is what's going to happen. And in that day, some women should, and in the day where women's gates lament and mourn, you're sitting up on the ground, right? The men that you was making you be feeling proud have died by the sword. You men are gonna in that day, some women should take hold of one man, saying we'll eat our own bread. So they're not gonna be beggy for man's money. They're not gonna be monitoring man's pockets, man. They're gonna want the man for the man's sake. That's what it's gonna be. They're gonna want the man because he's that man that he is. Not because he's got money or because he's tall with a ponytail. It's gonna be because he's what he is, man. Saying we'll eat our own bread and wear our own apparel, only let's be called by the names to take our approach. And it's gonna start getting in the future, man, that women are gonna start looking at other women, right? Like, man, there's something wrong with you if you're single. Women are gonna start making other women feel ashamed for being single soon, man. That's gonna happen. Whereas, right, there was a time when women was being looked at sideways for doing everything that a man wants. As society starts crumbling more and more, other women are going to start stunting subtly on other women for being with a man. Because it's going to be a flex amongst women to have a man that's prepared to take care of women, while there's a big abundance of men that don't want to take care of women and be in relationships with them. And it's going to start being a thing where women now start realizing that them not having a man to take care of them means that there's a reproach on them, and that it's actually showing that there's something wrong with them. Because now that these women are starting to lose their jobs and lose the ability to take care of themselves because it's being taken away by the society, by the same government that gave these women the ability, these same people are going to take it away from them. As that starts happening, these women are going to start realizing that, man, I'm starting to be made to look like I ain't shit. Because now that I can't take care of myself, no man wants to take care of me. So that's giving me a reproach. And I'm going to even be prepared to find a man that can do it. And I don't care if he's got another wife. I'm prepared to be the number 2 wife. And even if it means I get treated worse than his current wife, man. Because I'm going to have to take away this stigma that I got on myself of clearly being trash because no man wants to take care of me. Because if there was something righteous with me, then there would be a man to want to take care of me. Because I can't do it myself right now. This is going to start happening to you, man. And if you don't believe it, then and you want to run your mouth and try and say otherwise, just wait and see, man. Yeah, just wait and see. Because as these women these women are already complaining, oh, no man wants to try and chase me. No man wants to approach, right? But the women that are still getting approached, they're being made to be like, well, I ain't got this problem. And they'll be able to say amongst the women, I ain't got this problem. I get approached still all the time. Just like how women used to try and want to boast about getting catcalled and that, but then some women couldn't boast about being catcalled. Then they had to try and say, oh, well, I get men coming up and groping me and this and that. And then they've started bringing out this term SA, which covers up words. SA becomes words too. Words are even a class as SA. Oh, he shouted at Qua, nice rack at me. I felt objectified. And then the women started going overboard because nothing was really happening to them. So then they had to start setting up cameras in gyms and trying to overboard and try and make it like men are doing this and doing that. When the man might have just looked at the woman that's got a camera in the gym, be like, yo, why has someone got a camera in the gym? And then she zooms into his eyeballs and says, see, men are just dogs and they're just harassing women in the gym. So the men was like, you know what, then fuck y'all. And don't even look at them no more like that. As much as they would want them to do anyway. And then now they're complaining about that anyway, man. Like, you men are gonna, prophecy says, and I'm gonna believe what prophecy says, not all you women say. Prophecy is gonna humble you women, man. It's gonna humble y'all. Right? Prophecy is gonna humble you women. It's gonna make you realize you are not who you thought you was, man. It's gonna break you all down and humble you, right? And you Israelite women are not gonna be able to shame the Israelite man into liking something else other than what he likes, man. Right? You're not gonna be able to do that. And on that, I'm gonna say all praises to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. Shalom. And Salakia for the language that I used in the video as well. If it offended people, man, apologies. All right, Shalom.